Getting your stretch on, ND. That's how we do it here early in the morning. And we have special guests today. As we know, the TSS Fantasy crew is lazy as hell. They don't like getting up early. So I had some gentlemen to join me today who are dedicated and want to get up early with us. We appreciate you. Let's welcome to the studio first, Kelsey. And first it's from High and Low Sports, and also later with 4th and 4 with Zach at the Zach Attack. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Man, glad to be back again. Hopefully I don't get dumbass of the week again on But hey, like I'm up, I'm ready to go. But I already guarantee you, if my mom's watching, I'm gonna get made fun of for my eye bags yet again. I got some sleep. Don't worry. I literally woke up just before we did this. There was sleep at.
Sleep had the night before. This is just staying up through, though. It's not getting up early. It's staying through.
Semantics. It's semantics.
Yeah, eat tomato. Listen, at the end of the day, we appreciate you waking up with us. I know it's a struggle. Believe me, I get it. Let's also welcome to the studio reigning chump champion, DJ. I got it messed up last time, too, on 4th and 4, so my bad. Let's give him his due. The champ is here. DJ, welcome to the studio.
Glad to be back. The heavy is the head that wears the crown, so my neck is getting really strong these days, packing that bad boy around.
Oh yeah, you know what? We had a lot of people in the meantime come on. So I think Kelsey brought it up. Might have to do like a champion round or something. Bring that up sometime. So might have to bring you back and take on some of the other champs that have come on as the victor.
Well, there goes my heavy wears the crown joke, because then I'm gonna lose in the first round. I already spited myself too early. I should have opened mouth and not inserted foot.
Yeah, that's one of those clips that we're going to play back later for sure.
Gonna get
all right. So
round one.
Don't forget, visit us, tssfantasy.com. We have all our updated rankings, so I'll have everything up to date for you with all the injuries and things of people that have gone out, even with COVID, all that kind of stuff. So don't forget to check that out. Also, all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, we got it all. Send us your lineup questions. Again, appreciate your patience with those. We do get back to you on those as soon as we can. Also, don't forget to visit all of us at the Belly of Sports Podcast Network. From wrestling to racing, we got it all for you. Again, as before mentioned, High and Low Sports is here in the building. And also later, they become Voltron with Zach Attack and become 4th and 4 as they assemble later. So let's bring it up later on. Don't forget, after us, the Bears pregame show with Coach Steve. And then again, as before mentioned, Voltron 4th and 4, 11 to 12. We got the rough cut, and 12 to 1. Dan Maynard finishes all of your fantasy lineup questions. So we appreciate you waking up, belly up. All right, so I'm just going to play his music anyway, since he's not here, because I just like hearing it, and it's in the morning, so we got to wake up a little bit. So it's kind of, sort of, he's not here today, but, you know, we all kind of stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so we're going to be doctors this morning. Let's start with Dr. Miller's house call.
He's the one that called Dr. Bill. He's the one that makes you feel all right. He's the one that called Dr. Bill. He's gonna be your Frankenstein. I got one.
All righty. Rocking out in the morning. That's the way we like it in the 80s. All right. So we got Alvin Kamara is out. So make sure you adjust your lineups accordingly. Of course, Mr. Ingram is going to be the head caboose, so to speak, in that matchup today. So unfortunate for Alvin Kamara owners, again, out once again. Was that you, DJ?
2 times over owning Alvin Kamara, and now for the last 2 weeks, it's going to be 0-2. It feels like it's not looking great.
Ooh, God, that's got to hurt. All right, also, Hollywood Brown, that was kind of a late scratch with his apparently going on with a little finger. So he's going to be out this game. Of course, that's important as a receiver. So, take note, Mark Andrew owners, also Rashad Bateman should get an uptick in receptions today. So again, if you want to look out for somebody, I don't think not many leagues will have Bateman on the waiver wire, but if he's there, pick him up, put him in your flex if you need to.
And
We're
then
gonna
give me an invite to that league because
Right.
I would love to be in that league.
Indeed. I always say the same thing. Like, send me an invite. I definitely want to be in your league if certain people are still in your waiver wire. All right, Amari Cooper is out because of COVID. Shame. Also not vaccinated, so he might be out next game too. Sorry for you, my friend. That sucks. McNichols is out as well, but he hasn't really been doing much in that Titans backfield, so not really fantasy news there. Of course, DeAndre Hopkins, man, for Arizona Cardinal fans and for fantasy owners. This guy is taking like a little vacation within the season. Now still out with this hamstring issue. So again, very interesting to say the least. Christian Kirk owners as well. Christian Kirk owners, you're obviously going to see an uptick. We'll see about AJ Green as well. We talked about him yesterday, actually, on the Fantasy Family Feud. He's actually leading the league or not leading the league, but he was in the top 5 for red zone targets, believe it or not. Crazy enough as that sounds. Obviously not catching them all, but he got doing something with targets.
Who knew that AJ Green was going to turn out to be this guy this year? Like, goodness. And
yeah,
where did he come from again? It's like, wait, he got a revival? What?
Until
well, you're in that kind of
forgets to turn around and the ball goes right behind the head for an interception. But like that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and you're going into like a big offense like that. I mean, like I said, somebody like one of our co-hosts could get 1,000 yards possibly in that offense. You just never know. Aaron Jones out with a knee injury, so AJ Dillon, obviously, I brought him up last week, Mr. Thunder Thighs. I love AJ Dillon, especially as it gets cold. He had a great game last week. We'll see what he does this week. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Antonio Brown still out. Looks like it's going to be a little while with his ankle issue. We'll talk about that Tuesday with Dr. Miller a little bit more. Get a little bit more in depth into the anatomy of it. Because it's, again, interesting. He's been out this long. It didn't seem like it was going to be this long, and it's been kind of prolonged as we kind of gone along here. Jermichael Hasty as well is out. So again, with the 49ers backfield, it's always this revolving door anyway. Elijah Mitchell's doubtful as well. So we'll see who steps up this week. You just never know.
Will Trey Sermon finally get out of the doghouse?
It's everybody but Trey Sermon. That's their running back field as well, too. Just because DJ picked him up before the season, said everyone should. It's spite DJ year. So everybody but him. I'll step in and get 100 yards before Trey Sermon does.
To be fair, he was the hot guy. Everyone was bringing up Trey Sermon a lot. So, I mean, listen, it's okay to get caught up in the hype sometimes. I mean, I've done it plenty of times. I'm a Dolphins fan. Trust me, I get it.
I just want to see Trey Lance handed to Trey Sermon so we could have 2 Treys or Trey squared, something like that. Like they took that away from me.
The Trey square. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. All right. Ricky Seals-Jones, he's out with a hip injury. Logan Thomas is back, though, so that should be, he could be somebody big for you this week. Jared Goff is doubtful today, although I don't know if I was expecting much out of the Lions offense, but definitely not going to be much at all with Jared Goff being doubtful.
He's perfectly healthy. He saw Myles Garrett, and he's like, I am doubtful. I'm not feeling it. I saw what Justin Fields had to deal with, and I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not having that man's biceps wrapped around me.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, he gets replaced by a quarterback who, by the way, has never had a winning season in his career.
Listen, if I had a sore titty, I wouldn't want to run around all game either. So I feel you with DJ. You're right on point with that. Mr. Robinson, James Robinson, heel and knee, so he's questionable, but I think he'll go today. He's been dealing with this so far, but still puts up big points each week. So watch out for him today. Latavius Murray, he's questionable with an ankle. Don't think he's going to go, but we'll monitor that, obviously, as we get up close to kickoff. Jamal Williams, thigh, questionable. Has been dealing with the same thing for a hot minute now. Mr. Peoples-Jones, I want to talk about him real quick. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on him, but we talked about him on a couple shows ago. From week 5 to 10, he was leading the league, or at least he was 8 or something like that. In targets, I mean, he's really been a hot commodity now with OBJ leaving. So your thoughts on him? What kind of day you think you have if he does go today? He is questionable with the groin.
Yeah, I mean, use him. Look at this. If he goes, Baker loves him. It is the weirdest love affair with him, and it's him and Rashard Higgins seem to be the two guys that Baker will just throw it up to at any point in time. So I honestly don't blame anybody for trying to risk it with Peoples-Jones if he's considered that he will be going at game time. We'll have to see that with that one, but I mean, with it being an early game, you can kind of risk it and then see at the last second if you need to switch out to somebody later in the day, that's fine. But I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, or I'd say even pick up Rashard Higgins as well, because you have that opportunity as well if Peoples-Jones is gone.
My theory is they bond because they both hate Ohio State. I mean, Baker with his waving the flag and planted, then Don Peoples-Jones, a Michigan guy. So that's just how it works. Is how I'm looking at it. But I'd agree with that one. He seems to be their big play guy that when Baker does throw it beyond 6 yards one time a game, it's going to Peoples-Jones. So I can see him easily picking up a 9 to 10 for your flex, especially if you're in kind of a bind. Like if you had Alvin Kamara and he was ruled out at the last minute, you need a receiver for the flex. He could be someone that could pick up some easy points. And it's the Lions defense. It's not exactly the immovable object, if you will.
Yeah, it's definitely the matchup to grab today. That's for sure. Kyler Murray, game time decision. We were just talking about Arizona. I should have just kept going with that one because again, this issue has also been lingering too. He does have the bye week next week, so the question is, do you wait 1 week, just let it rest, and then you're good to go for the following week, or do you want to really risk it when you have a division matchup today? So. It's one of those things. I know if I was an Arizona fan, I'd be like, listen, bro, tighten up, better risk it, get your ass out there because we need you. We got to win in this game. So that would just be my thoughts on that. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Miles Sanders, and Ben Roethlisberger, they all are active today. So I just wanted to bring that up, brought up off the IR. We'll see how much they play. I don't know. Ben seemed to have symptoms of COVID, so I don't know how much that's going to affect his ability to play. I really don't. Again, this is kind of a strange thing that we all have been having to deal with, and I don't know, how much that's going to affect him. I think, when Lamar had it, I think it was last year, he looked like it affected him a little bit. Ben's not as good a shape as Lamar. So.
That's a nice way to put it. That is a very nice way to put it.
His 4-yard dash is about to take 5 seconds now instead of 4. So we're going to see if he can scamper outside the tackle box.
Right. He's been closing in on the 6 seconds 40-yard dash here recently.
So if I'd be interested to see how much he gets blitzed today. That's
oh yeah, 100%.
I'd be doing it all day for sure.
On the Chargers, I'm like, Bosa, that is your guy. Derwin James, you go chase him. If he outruns you, you're running stairs on our next practice. We're going back to the high school punishment.
Talk about a boomer bust pick. That Chargers defense, if you need a defense,
it's
either going to be fantastic or you're going to get toasted by because they don't have Chase Claypool potentially either. So
right,
Harris, that man still.
Right, I think Najee Harris, again, why does Mason Rudolph, why is he throwing the ball 50 times? I just don't understand. When you have Najee Harris back there, they should just be pounding the football like it's, the Steelers of old. That would make sense. I mean, it makes no sense when you're at the 5-yard line, just throw the ball 3 straight times. Hello, what are you doing? You got Najee Harris. Doesn't make any sense.
We're talking about the same team that went and got their kicker injured on an unnecessary fake against the Browns. So anything they do is kind of doesn't make sense anyways. It's just kind of the mainstay for the Steelers.
Indeed.
All
right.
Is your backup, and Dwayne Haskins hasn't left the club yet, so you don't even have a third string. So I guess you got to give them all the opportunities you get. I don't know what they're doing sometimes.
Absolutely. All right, fellas, we got to go on and talk about the weather today.
It's gonna be bright sunshiny day.
All righty. So today's weather, I keep talking about it every week, and 1 week it's really going to matter. It hasn't really mattered so far, but it may be a little bit in a few of this game as these weather start to turn a little bit as we start to get going. So maybe a little bit today. Indianapolis at Buffalo, it's 44 degrees, overcast. Winds are 10 miles an hour, so, nothing crazy, but it's still a little bit breezy. Baltimore at Chicago, 46 degrees, overcast, 9-mile-an-hour winds there. Nothing really to note of. Now, Detroit at Cleveland, it's 45 degrees and possible rain today and 12-mile-an-hour winds. So sloppy conditions. Obviously, Nick Chubb, I already have him high up in our rankings today. He's somebody, obviously, I like a lot today. I like, obviously, even Swift as well. But, again, if you're Cleveland, obviously, he's stacking the box all day and daring you to throw the ball against me for sure.
Oh, this is a normal Cleveland day out here. It's gonna be okay for Nick Chubb.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys are out in Cleveland. Hello. Oh, yeah, that's cool. So is it like in your weather report? Is it like gonna be? Is it for sure rain? Because this is, I'm looking at it from down here.
It's the lake. You know what? Just you can assure that there's going to be some kind of rain falling somewhere. It might be beer, it might be rain. We don't know yet. But so there's going to be liquid being thrown on the field at some point in time.
It'll be something too. It won't be pretty, but they don't see the sun here 90% of the year anyway, so it's just another day in paradise.
That explains your the gray tan, the glow I see from you, DJ. I love it.
I spent a lot of time outside, and I probably destroyed all my vitamin D levels, considering there's no sun out there whatsoever.
Get more from the inside lights.
Oh, awesome. All right. So Houston at Tennessee, 55 degrees there, and also possible rain there, and 11-mile-an-hour wind. So it could be sloppy conditions there as well. Houston against Tennessee. I would just say, definitely Titans D benefits from that. Miami at New York, 51 degrees, mostly cloudy, 6-mile-an-hour winds there. Hopefully we can get another one. It's starting to build some momentum, starting to feel like my fantasy team, starting to maybe got a chance here at the end. Maybe we'll see, maybe save my season a little bit. Saints at the Eagles, 52 degrees, partly cloudy, 7-mile-an-hour winds. Nothing really to note there. Washington at Carolina, 56 degrees, overcast, 2-mile-an-hour winds. So basically a fart. 49ers at the Jacksonville Jaguars, 69 degrees, partly cloudy, 9-mile-an-hour winds. Cincinnati at Las Vegas, then Domes, who cares? Same with Green Bay at Minnesota, who cares? Dallas at KC, 57 degrees and clear, 14-mile-an-hour winds, though. So although it looks like a nice day, little breezy, might want to note that maybe might bring a little bit the passing game down a little bit, and also the kickers, we'll see. Usually when it gets around the 15-mile-an-hour winds, it does play a little bit of effect, so we shall see. But two good offenses, so I'm not really too worried about it. Cardinals at what's that?
That deep rainbow ball from Dak is not going to be good in that weather, though. That's for sure.
Right, exactly. So that's the thing. We'll see how that plays effect, or if it does. Cardinals at Seattle, 46 degrees, mostly cloudy, winds 1 mile an hour. So that's whatever below a fart is. I don't
create a weather system in Madden right there.
Right.
Perfect weather right there.
Exactly. Steelers at the Chargers, Dome, who gives a shit, and Giants at the Bucks for Monday night, 67 degrees, partly cloudy, 10-mile-an-hour winds, and you never know. It's Florida, might bring some rain at some point. You never know.
There will be
all right. So I got you guys on here. You guys know I love playing some games. I love doing my fun stuff. So since I got you guys on, I thought I'd give Kelsey another shot at redeeming himself. And I got some fun questions for you guys. Now, this one isn't like champs or chumps. So, we usually talk about it prior. But, we always want to get to the final round of champs or chumps. This one, though, it's hey, if you sweep it early, you sweep it early, all right? All right, we'll take a quick break, and then we come back. I'll explain the rules and all that. We'll get right back to Fantasy Family Feud, and we'll be right back.
Hey, everyone, it's Commissioner Cooper from TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people, and our network, the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network, is no different. So we teamed up with our friends from Manscaped to give back to the people for an exciting holiday giveaway. We want you to look and feel smooth this holiday season. So we're giving away the Manscaped 4.0 Performance Package. And all you have to do is go to our Facebook page at Belly Up Sports, give us a like, and that well-deserved 5-star review, and you're entered to win. It's as simple as Grandma's holiday pie, and who knows what holiday magic awaits once those ornaments are looking shiny and new again. So what are you waiting for? Give us a like, that well-deserved 5-star review, and you could be belly up all holiday season.
Indeed. If you guys have not gone to Belly Up and put your stuff in, bro, I don't know what you're waiting on, right?
I already did it. They were like, "Hey, you can put it in there too." I was like, "All right, done. You got me."
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The ornaments are definitely saying a thumbs up for it too. Squeaky clean.
All day. I mean, listen, who doesn't want to be belly up all holiday season? All right, as I before mentioned, we are about to play Fantasy Family Feud. All right, so just explain it real quick. The only difference in this is that we don't, usually in Family Feud, there's points involved. Don't really involve the points. It's just if you take it, you can pass or play. If you win the round, you just win the round. We don't keep the points. I ain't got time nor the graphics. So what do you want?
All right, our graphics people are slacking in the back room.
I mean, come on. I guess you get what you pay for. I guess is what it is. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it started. It's time to play the feud. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our first question. Who are the top 5 rushing yard leaders in a single season?
All right, so number 1 is Eric Dickerson.
Wait, hold on. So Eric Dickerson.
Rushing yards leaders all time.
All right, so you got the first one, and I'm sorry, I don't have the graphics, so we'll just have to keep track this way. So yes, number 1 is Eric Dickerson. Would you like to pass or play? I got a feeling I already know what you're going to say.
We'll play it. Why not? We'll let it play.
All right. I feel like he's already got the list ready. All right, so go ahead. What is the next one?
Number 2 is Adrian Peterson.
Adrian, like this guy literally has the list, I think, in his head. Number 2.
All right, number 2. This is where it gets rough. I remember the first 2 pretty closely, but this is where it gets a little bit goofy.
Okay.
And it's in. Let's see. I think Chris Johnson cracks the top 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna fall there. He's like 7 or something. I ran out. I should have just taken the 1.
All right, no, that's all right. So you got 2 more. You got 2 more guesses. So you got number 1 and you got number 2. So he's 3, 4, and 5 are left.
Jamal Lewis, I believe.
Jamal Lewis.
All right.
Well, that's
Give me my
1.
popcorn. Hang on.
He is number 3 on the list. So you got 4 and 5 left.
All right. I'm gonna hate myself. Is OJ Simpson on that one too?
Oh, Simpson, the glove don't fit.
Damn, I knew I was gonna hate myself for that one.
All right, you got 1 strike left. You got 4 and 5 left.
You know what? We're just gonna try. No, he's not gonna be on there. No, the brain running out of space in there. The archives are running thin now. I got those 3, but that's. Is Derrick Henry on the list?
Derrick Henry.
Wasn't expecting that one. That was the Hail Mary shoot. I don't have the 2-point conversion attempt on standby.
He's number 5 in 2020. You got 1 strike left and 1 answered left. Number 4.
All right, so it's not Chris Johnson. It's not OJ. All right, hold on. Racking my brain. I'm going to figure this out eventually. It's process of elimination in my noggin. I will work my way there somehow. I don't know how, but we'll get there. Is it Walter Payton?
Walter Payton. All right, Kelsey, your chance to steal.
Oh, all right. We're going to go. Why not? Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen. Number 4 was Barry Sanders in 1996.
Mike is going to kill us.
Pain.
All right, next question. Who are the top 5 receiving yards of all time in a single season?
Well, number 1's Calvin Johnson. Well, not number 1, but he's on there. He's up there somewhere.
Calvin Johnson. All right, that was the number one. So I'm assuming you want to play this one.
Nope, I am cutting my loss where it is. I've already learned once.
Oh,
All
great.
right, he's passing. All right, Kelsey, you're up, bro.
All right, I'm gonna go Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. Not keep the beat running like a Randy Moss.
Ooh, all right. Oh man. All right. Jerry Rice, I guess.
Jerry Rice.
We're working our way there.
All right, so Jerry Rice is number 3. So you got the number 1 and number 3. So you got 2, 4, and 5 left.
This is a long shot, but Chris Chambers.
Chris Chambers. I like the name.
There's somebody random. I know there's somebody random in here, and I'm just going for that one. And now
You picked with your heart, not your head on that one. You remember
Yeah,
the highlights, and please try to speak it into existence.
that was a rough one. We're not going to do that again. We're probably going to do that again. Who am I kidding? Oh goodness. Keyshawn Johnson.
Keyshawn Johnson. All right, DJ, your chance to steal. So we know we got Calvin Johnson and we got Jerry Rice. So you got 2, 4, and 5 available.
We're gonna take a shot in the dark and say Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Because him and
I
Julio
forgot
tied, if
Lego
I'm not
had
mistaken,
existed.
at some point too, or they were almost dead on. They were very equal in yards that same year. There was one of those two.
And the rest it was Julio Jones at number 2 and Isaac Bruce at number 5.
Isaac Bruce.
Okay,
That's
that's
the
the
one.
90s era, early 2000s era guy I'm trying to think of.
Like
All
Isaac Bruce
right.
is your guy. You got to get that one, Kelsey. That was yours.
You know what? Hey, look, we're struggling here.
Listen.
I'm going against the Schwab right now.
All right, this is round 3 now. So you got to get this one or it's a wrap. All right, here we go. Round 3. Here's the question. Top 5 answers on the board. Who are the top 5 touchdown leaders in a single season?
Tom
This
Brady.
is total touchdowns, right?
This is total touchdowns, correct?
All right. So
sorry.
number 1 is LaDainian Tomlinson, I believe.
LaDainian Tomlinson. He is the number 1. So again, would you like to pass or play?
We're gonna pass on this one and see if I can steal it again.
All right, Kelsey, you're up.
Total touchdowns. Oh God. All right. Well, receiving touchdown leader in a season would be Randy Moss. So I feel like he should be up there.
So Randy Moss.
Okay. All right. I'm out of luck. Oh goodness.
I'll give you a hint, Kelsey. There's an Alabama guy on there.
Oh God. In that case, then I'm gonna say Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander.
I hate
Welcome.
that I needed a hint for that, and I hate that it was such a subtle hint that I knew exactly who it was.
I'm here to help.
Number
You can tell we've been
2.
working together too many times that he already knows the button to push. All right. In that case, we'll go in a single season. Oh man, because that's gonna have to include passing receptions as well. Oh, Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bettis, the bus.
I feel like I'm just squandering here, just throwing names at a board and hoping one sticks.
All right, you got 3, 4, and 5 left.
Why not? Adrian Peterson. Just because.
Adrian Peterson. All right, DJ.
Not gonna lie, I was hoping you wouldn't have said the Sean Alexander one. I probably shouldn't have given you that hint. That was my ace in the hole. That was the one I knew off the top of my head for sure. So now we're going back to racking the brain. Let's say Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith. He is number 5.
Here's my Cowboys fanship card.
I mean, wow. That
I'm
was
officially a Bengals fan now.
that was pretty much a dominating performance, I have to say. Listen, I'll give you guys the final round question anyway. give it to you both. So we'll see if you can get it. Obviously, DJ probably already knows it, so we'll find out. Here it is, the final round question, even though we didn't need to get there. Who holds the best rookie passer rating in NFL history?
You know, Kelsey, I'll let you guess this one first.
Why are you doing me with such a dishonor? We all know you know the answer at this point in time.
Maybe.
Let me ask you this, DJ. Is he from more recently than 2010?
I believe so.
Oh God.
I don't know for sure.
Why not Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
Ouch.
So I'm 99% sure it's between two guys. So I'm gonna take the shot in the dark, and I'm gonna guess Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
3 is
Hallelujah.
It's got to be
everything
RJ.
right.
No, it was Dak Prescott.
Kelsey,
Believe
turn in
or
your second
not.
Cowboys fanship card.
Wow. That's your second team?
No, I'm a Cowboys fan, and just
Oh.
ignore everything successful that's ever happened as a Cowboys fan, and I just think about the lowly years from 97 to now, or 98 to now.
Wow,
This is,
that's kind of embarrassing. No.
Can we replay this?
All right. Well,
Can
that
we
was
just give DJ his own Q&A show at this point in time? Let other
Yeah.
people go up against that.
Listen, we got something fun and exciting coming up. We're in the process of he's gonna show his skills off before you know it after the holiday season. That's for sure. All right, let's get it started. We got 30 minutes to break down the rest of the NFL today. So let's get started with our breakdown.
Don't stop, get it. Don't stop, get it. That pussy.
All right, I had to stop that before I got any further. All right, we're going to start with the Ravens at the Bears. So, we have the Ravens. I just pulled up what I pulled up basically because I didn't have a lot of time to pull up stats. Was the Ravens were fourth in against rushing for rushing yards against, I can't even spit it out, for defensively, and 29th against the pass. The Bears 18th against the rush and 7th versus the pass. So interesting to say the least for both defenses, but the Ravens, you saw Tua actually had a decent game against them. So, their secondary doesn't look all that great, but is Justin Fields, is this going to be his breakout day? I mean, if he's going to have it, today's going to be the day to do it. Again, David Montgomery came back and just took over the backfield. It was like, listen, I don't know what y'all were doing, but time to go take a seat. This is my house. I'm going to handle it from here. So he should have a decent day today, although the Ravens, again, tough against the rush, but should be, again, decent. Lamar, no matter what, is Lamar Jackson, again, making case for MVP, because without him, what are the Ravens, essentially? So without Hollywood Brown, talked about Mark Andrews having a good day today. Rashad Bateman going to have an uptick in targets as well. Fellas, your thoughts on this matchup? Who do you think is going to win? Anyone you like in it? We'll take it to Kelsey first.
Yeah, so, you mentioned it. This one hinges on Lamar, right? And Lamar questionable with illness, so he might not play tomorrow or play today. And that's the, the worry is, like, how much is he actually going to be effective? Did he get too much Chipotle like A.J. Brown and he turns into superhero mode? Or I don't know, but I do feel pretty good about the Bears. I'm actually going to be on the Coach Steve show next to talk about this game a little bit more. So shameless plug at that one. If you want to hear more of my details on that, I'll tell you about that in like 30 minutes. But yeah, it's I think this one it's definitely a will Lamar be able to perform, and then on the other side, it's not so much Justin Fields. I think he's going to be successful. It's going to be, can Matt Nagy put him in successful positions, and that'll be determined whether Justin Fields can pull this one out. But spoiler alert, I have an upset with this one with the Bears.
Man, so you're on for 3, bro.
I'm not sleeping for the next 24 hours. I'm good.
Doing it, bro. Mom's gonna be proud, man. Mom's gonna be proud.
I'm gonna hear so much about my eye bags. I just can't get over it. Any company out there that sells eye bag products, just let me know.
I'll take some too, bro. Hey, we're getting there, bro. I mean, I get it. DJ, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, the one thing
And I
too with the
back-
Bears is Khalil Mack is not playing as well too. So I think Lamar's going to go, and you could probably pick any of the stable of running backs to get you something productive. Latavius Murray, Devontae Freeman, just about any of them will probably be fine. Then for the Bears, that pass defense for the Ravens is spotty at best, mostly because teams could go deep on them. And if Justin Fields gets any resemblance of decent amount of time back there, I could see him going looking for a Darnell Mooney type guy deep or something like that, or Cole Kmet deep over the middle. So those are a couple of guys to look out for. It just depends if he's going to be getting assaulted right off the snap as well, or if Matt Nagy's going to do a bunch of tomfoolery that he does with like empty sets against the blitz and those sort of things.
Yeah, I didn't mention Lamar earlier because from what I read, it's just one of those things where she should be good to go. He's going to take some fluids kind of thing. So that's why I didn't mention him earlier. But I kind of get that I don't want to even compare him to Jordan, but that vibe of the get the fluids. I'm going to step in, and when I'm sick, and throw for a billion yards. That's just one of those things. The athletes, they just step up in those types of situations. So I have a feeling Lamar is going to have a really decent day today. But again, we'll see. And again, you talked about their staple of running backs. Pretty much anyone you insert against this Bears D. But again, Kelsey though has an upset. I think, or is it because you're on a certain show next? Or?
No. I'm picking pure. I think Matt Nagy finally figured this one out and is fighting for his job, and he figured out like I shouldn't call plays, and that's his success. I should just sit there and look pretty and fail at looking pretty at least, and then just at least let Justin Fields survive and let him look pretty. That should be Matt Nagy's job for the rest of the season. That's
Nagy, you look pretty.
Yeah, like just go look pretty on the sideline. There's no reason to try to call plays. He's not that guy.
All right, so next we got Lions at Cleveland. So, again, we kind of went over this a little bit earlier. Lions defense, not very good against the rush, 29th, 12th versus the pass, 8th on the Cleveland side, 8th versus the rush, 16th versus the pass. Can't even talk this morning. So interesting to say the least on Cleveland side. Nick Chubb's going to be real decent play for you today. Do I like Ernest Johnson? Yes, I do, because you still don't have Hunt back. Demetric Felton's like whatever. They obviously like Johnson a lot, and they tend to lean on him. So they have no problems, I think, interchanging him and Chubb. So I like both of them. Jarvis Landry, good game today, I would expect. Also, we talked about Peoples-Jones. If he's good to go today, he should have a decent game as well. On the Lions side, with Goff not playing, or if he does play, does it matter? I don't know. Do we care? Swift, is pretty much about it. Maybe Hawkinson with some garbage time. That's about it, all I got. Guys, DJ will go to you first. Mix it up. What you think about this matchup?
Well, this unfortunately has over by halftime written all over it. It feels like the last time we saw an Ohio team take on a Michigan team earlier on Saturday, where it ended at 56-7. That's what I have a feeling this one could end up being like as well too. So I'm just gonna throw in David Njoku. I can see the tight end for the Browns getting into the action. He's been very boomer bust. Like I remember against the Chargers, he went ballistic, and then the next 2 weeks he was not. You could have told me he wasn't on the field. So I could see him getting in the end zone, maybe like 10 points or something like that. And then for the Lions, you're talking most likely garbage time or kind of fluky points. Maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown, like deep on the receiver chart. You're like, I need a flex badly because everyone's broken. Maybe he gets you like 6 to 12 points, something like that, just from late receptions, maybe a really late touchdown to make it 56-7. But there's not a whole lot on the Lions to like besides maybe Swift.
Yeah, no, look, this one we talked about a little bit ago. Jared Goff will be replaced by Tim Boyle, who, again, is a completely losing career quarterback going back to his college days at UConn and even at Eastern Kentucky. He transferred and still lost more games than he won. I think that's a telling sign for him to be a Lions backup quarterback. And just stay away from anybody Lions related if you can possibly help it. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 out of the 3 tight end trio for Cleveland have an absolutely fantastic day. Njoku, and Harrison, I look at, I'm like, yeah, they can have a whole lot of fun. Harrison Bryant, that is, and that would be a whole lot of fun against this secondary for Detroit, because there's not a lot of weapons out there.
Yeah, losing quarterback on a winless team, a winning combination for sure. Green Bay
over 400.
Green Bay at Minnesota. This is an interesting game. I've liked Minnesota this year. I've seen them. I think that it's been talked about a lot how they've, barely lost some of these games. They've been in these games. They have a good, decent team. Overall, Kirk Cousins is kind of up and down, though. However, not very consistent in the quarterback play. Obviously, on Green Bay side, now Aaron Rodgers is back, hopefully doing his thing with Devonta Adams, the whole nine. So it should be a decent day for Aaron Rodgers. When, again, I talked about him last week, A.J. Dillon, Minnesota's 27th against rush yards. So, again, Captain Thunder Thighs, I like a lot today. Devontae Adams, again, should have a decent day. And Kirk Cousins, again, we talked about situational stuff. If I'm assuming if I'm say Aaron Rodgers is having a good day, just assume Kirk Cousins is going to have to try to keep up with him. Doesn't mean he's going to have a great day because Green Bay being fifth against the pass, not the greatest defense they want to go against, but they're going to have to keep up with them somehow. So I would expect something out of Kirk today. All right. So what do you guys think of this matchup?
Yeah, look, I like this matchup. This is going to be an old school NFC North matchup that you're going to see. But look, first of all, my fantasy football team is happy Aaron Rodgers is back healthy, and whether he got the shot or not, we don't know yet. But Devontae Adams is going to be super super excited because that's why I'm excited. Devontae Adams is going to be thrown to an absurd amount of times because it's been 2 weeks since Aaron Rodgers threw him the ball, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic to watch. And then on the other side, I look for Adam Thielen to have a fantastic matchup for receiving core. That like you said, if Aaron Rodgers is firing on all cylinders, that means somebody's going to be catching balls for Minnesota Vikings. It's not going to be Justin Jefferson because I can guarantee they're going to double him, but it will be Adam Thielen. I can almost guarantee it.
You know what's crazy? Sorry to interrupt, but just real quick, it was crazy. We were playing the Fantasy Family Feud, and Randall Cobb was also on the list for top red zone targets this year. Wow. Go ahead, brother.
Well, you took that one. That was what I was gonna say. Is Randall Cobb looks like he might be the guy I was gonna lead to because there's no way Aaron Jones as well too. No David Bakhtiari getting the ball out of his hands quickly. That'd be the one too. And I actually like Green Bay's defense. If someone still has not picked him up in the last month, they've been the top rated defense in the league. And Kirk Cousins has been playing well, but we know how shaky he can get back there sometimes. He's kind of like an Uber driver that suddenly got his windshield covered up by water or something like that too. I can see him getting a little erratic back there, maybe throwing it up for grabs. I mean, they just shut out Russell Wilson last week. I don't think they're too concerned with Kirk Cousins. And you never know, maybe they're starting to get into a groove. So I like Randall Cobb. I like the Packers defense. Minnesota, I feel like the guys that I like are guys that you're playing no matter what, like Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. It doesn't matter the matchup. They're guys you're playing away. But I'm staying away from Kirk Cousins this week, preferably. And KJ Osborne has let me down enough, so I'm staying away from him too.
Yeah, I was never hot on KJ Osborne to begin with. So, there's just too many mouths to feed there. And, and as we alluded to earlier, if the Packers is in your league on the waiver wire, please allow me an invitation next year as well. All right, next game, Houston at Tennessee. Not much to talk about on the Houston side, quite frankly. Brandon Cooks might have a decent game because Tennessee is so horrible against receivers, 31st against the pass too. So if Tyrod Taylor can find Brandon Cooks a few times, might be a decent play for you there. But other than that, not really much on that side. I'd really, again, if you're really desperate, you could play Tyrod Taylor. You might have an okay game. Tennessee on that side, again, Ryan Tannehill's got to step up in the absence of Derrick Henry. Got A.J. Brown, so it'd be interesting to see, who's that number 2 guy that's going to step up today. I'm going to let you guys talk about that because I keep spoiling stuff, so maybe you guys got some other things to allude to. So, yeah. All right, so I'll kick it to you, DJ, on this matchup. Who you like on this one?
So I do, for the number 2 guy, I actually like Chester Rogers. He's kind of their slot receiver guy who gets a decent amount of burn, but just is kind of the small guy that looks like that little engine that could sometimes. But he's like, I think he could get a lot of those targets. Julio Jones is out for a while, so look for him to, just in a points in a PPR league, he could probably get you 10 just from getting a lot of those checkdowns. And I like both of the running backs, Deontay Foreman and Adrian Peterson. I'm actually playing both of them this week because I lost Alvin Kamara. So I said, one of you has to do good. We'll put you both out there. And I think they could both. It's against Houston's defense. It's nothing too elite. So maybe they both almost get a touchdown and just kind of give you points by lackadaisical production in some way, shape, or form. So I actually just like Tennessee. Well, that'll be my answer. Just all of that.
Yeah, I like. I like them to what you're just talking about. How use Devonta Foreman as like the down the field guy, and as they get closer to the end zone, put in AP to hammer it home. Kelsey, my bad. Go ahead, brother. What's next?
Oh no, that's exactly right. That's you use that, and don't be surprised if you see Hilliard, their third string running, or well, technically he was fourth string running back, get some burn just because we haven't seen Freeman a whole season. We haven't seen Adrian Peterson is still coming back from the retirement bench, which I guess I was still wrong on. I'm still not happy about that. His first week back, but you know what? He still doesn't look smooth like Adrian Peterson did before. So he still looks a little rusty. So don't be surprised if Hilliard does get some carries. Nothing crazy, but he might get you a touchdown if for some reason, because they put him in over Peterson in a couple drives in the red zone as well. So don't be surprised if that happens. But Marcus Johnson as well. You mentioned Chester Rogers, DJ. I like Marcus Johnson as an option as well. If you need somebody, just absolutely need somebody, don't be afraid to go get Marcus Johnson. He has been improving drastically. Last week when they needed him, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 100 yards, 20 yards per catch, and then just shy of getting a touchdown. He was about 5 yards shy of having a touchdown to his name, but not a bad performance for a guy who is kind of forgotten about.
I mean, heck, Marcus Johnson and Chester Rogers, both former Colts, and an in-division team that they have both seen plenty of times. And they're just like, oh, we'll just take that. If you don't want that, one man's trash is another person's replacement treasure.
And Marcus Johnson, that body style that Tannehill loves to throw to, too. That big body just hit him.
I actually picked him up in one of my leagues and inserted him this week because I agree. I think I do like him to be the number 2 this week because, again, he's the kind of guy Tannehill likes to throw to. All right, let's get on to these other games because I don't think we're going to make it through, but I don't care because that Family Feud was fun. All right, Colts at Buffalo. Again, on the Colts side, they started to get a little streaky, with Carson Wentz. But, again, it's all about the schedule and who they're playing. Their division's all not that great. Now they're going against a great defense. So, Jonathan Taylor, I would kind of temper expectations. Number 3 against the rush. Buffalo's defense is just really all that good. Number 1 versus the pass as well. So Carson Wentz, not that great of a game today. Again, I would just temper expectations, but it's tough to call this one because it's one of those games where it looks like Buffalo, that defense, but if the Colts find the right groove, I just feel like this could be one of those barn burner games that could go back and forth. But I would just again temper expectations. But you're going to start Jonathan Taylor anyway, so who the hell am I talking about? All right, so what do you guys think of this matchup?
Yeah, look, I like this one a lot, and this is nice. I look at this one. You talk about the running game, and how good the Bills are against the run and the pass. Well, I don't know how good they are against Nyheim Hines though, because you got a guy that's coming out of the backfield that could also slide into the slot that can do both things. Well, I know Jonathan Taylor's you're basically gonna run into a brick wall with Jonathan Taylor, and you're gonna keep running into the brick wall 20 plus times. It's just gonna happen. But there's going to have to be somebody that's going to have to break loose a little bit. And I look at Nyheim Hines as maybe that guy that will actually have some impact on the game. And especially, last couple times they needed him to step up. 100-yard game, 80-yard game, both put a touchdown in both games. And, why not? And see what he can do. But, yeah, this Bills team, terrifying to say the least. But they're not going up against a team that is somewhat questionable in talent. So they probably won't have that fourth quarter lapse they've been showing all season.
Absolutely as well too. And I look at on the opposite side, I look at Gabriel Davis, the big receiver, who kind of gets lost in the muck considering the Bills have an entire roster of receivers, like they're 6 deep and it's ridiculous. But Gabriel Davis, a huge 6'5" body and a very, very weak Colts secondary. Their best defensive back is 5'8.5". So I look for Gabriel Davis to basically egg catch a few people as well too. Backup safeties, backup corners. It's going to be rough. I mean, Xavier Rhodes is not going to stop him. It's not Colts secondary is definitely the weak point unless Darius Leonard is punching loose fumbles. So I look for Gabriel Davis to maybe get a red zone touchdown and a couple of intermediate targets.
All right, let's get on to the game of the day with America's team, the Miami Dolphins, going up to New York, playing the New York Jets suck. And this game is going to be a pivotal battle for the AFC playoff picture. We'll see how the Dolphins do. Now, just in all jokes aside, I'm just going to put it like this to Brian Flores. Bro, listen. If you line what you did against Lamar Jackson, did what you did. If you don't do that against Joe Flacco, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just done because like if you don't think Lamar Jackson couldn't do nothing, what do you think Joe Flacco is going to do? So anyway, I just see this as again Miami's hopefully to me getting hot. Maybe that's just my fandom coming on, but I like Myles Gaskin today. He's been so roller coaster up and down, but this is the game I like him to do well in. I like Tua, obviously, and I like Waddle, and I like Gesicki in this matchup. And on the Jets side, I do like, we do get burned a little bit in the secondary. So if there's a big play to be had, Elijah Moore is the guy that's going to make that happen. But I don't see many big plays happening. All right, guys, what you think of this matchup?
You hit the nail right on the head. If Miami just goes cover 0 and sends everybody at him, who on the Jets is going to be 1-on-1 coverage with Xavier Howard? I mean, Elijah Moore maybe gets loose when it's 35-7, but I don't like a whole lot on the Jets. And for Miami, I think Jalen Waddle, if you do have him, now would be a good week to start him. I think he's just going to get a lot of targets this game. I think they're going to try and give him his explosive game. Like he's had a bunch of really good games. I think this is the one where they try and let him have his quote-unquote Jamar Chase moment, like what Jamar did against the Ravens, where he has like 8 for 200. So I think this is the one where they kind of force it to Jalen Waddle, like, hey, we made the right pick, guys, and then kind of force him and get him out there. And I can see him getting a lot of targets, like maybe 10 catches, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about this. There's an interesting stat with the Dolphins, though, that I do find entertaining just as an Auburn guy. They have not won a game without Noah Igbenogany starting at nickel. If he is not your starting nickel corner, they have not won a game. And say what you will about it, whatever is going on with that secondary and everything else, but them in a cover 2 shell, there's no team that should be able to just take the top off of them. They should easily be able to handle everything underneath. And there's not enough burners. I mean, you talk about Elijah Moore, that's about it. That's the burner on the team. Mims has a little bit of speed. Corey Davis is a pure possession receiver. There should be nobody getting open over the top at all. And yeah, that's just, I don't know, interesting tidbit that I picked up over the season.
Now that we talked about the game of the day, I'll pick up a few that obviously, so we're going to have time to get all of them. So let's just pick obviously some good ones. So here's a real quick good one. Cowboys at KC. I mean, again, we were talking about this earlier about the weather may play a little bit of a factor. The wind may end up playing a little bit with the quarterbacks. I mean, who knows? But, again, Dallas's defense has been decent, like, 7th against the rush, 15th versus the pass, but they're more of a kind of a bend, don't break, and they make big plays. But so I still like Pat Mahomes make big plays all day today. And on KC's defense, we know it's garbage. So again, Zeke Elliott, obviously big, Dak Prescott, big, no Cooper. So let's see who else steps up. Could it be Michael Gallups finally? Does he step up today? We'll find out for sure. All right. What do you guys think of this fun matchup?
This is my worst case scenario as a Cowboys fan. You have Trayvon Diggs matching up 1-on-1 versus Tyreek Hill. I am not enjoying this battle at all because he gives up the most yardage over the top, but he does make plays in the passing game. So you obviously have Patty on the other side with all his interception problems. So you have potential for Trayvon Diggs to get a pick, but then give up 120 yards to Tyreek Hill and a touchdown. So it's just like my worst case scenario that Trayvon Diggs keeps getting hyped up for subpar defense, even though he makes one play. So, this is I look at Tyreek Hill, and there's no reason he shouldn't feast unless they decide they want to bracket and undercut him, and that's about the only chance you have. Because I don't think you're getting that. They don't have the same pass rush to get to Patty in this case. It's just been what you've seen to get Patty off his mark. So we'll see. But I think this one has Chiefs written all over it, and Tyreek has a big game.
Absolutely. And for fantasy, you mentioned no Amari Cooper. I look at Cedric Wilson as a guy that can maybe slip in there and steal some targets as well, too. A lot of the underneath ones, a guy that breaks a lot of tackles, just a guy that maybe 7 receptions for 70 yards, maybe even squeaks into the end zone because, who's going to stop him? Dan Sorensen on the Chiefs defense. It's not exactly – it's pretty much Swiss cheese. So he could be a sneaky pick as well, too. And any Cowboys offensive player I feel comfortable playing, just like I feel comfortable playing any Chiefs offensive player fantasy-wise, too.
Yeah. Again, Dalton Schultz actually too. He's been kind of on the downturn. He might actually see a big upturn this week too. So somebody else you might want to put in your lineup this week. All right, let's talk about. Probably got time to talk about one more real quick. Arizona at Seattle. I think this one to me, if Kyler Murray goes, could be that big barn burner game as well, fantasy wise. The game that we're looking for. So these Arizona's defense. I know a lot of talking to me, but they're 25 against the rush. They're 8th versus the pass. We saw Russell Wilson struggle last week, but I think that was just him getting back into the groove of football. I think this week he'll get back into the swing of things. And, their defense, again, if Kyler Murray goes 24th against the rush, 25 against the pass, so they're pretty much garbage. That's pretty much, they've actually did have a couple good games, but if Kyler Murray goes, it doesn't matter. That offense is going to see a lot of volume. Guys, what you think of this matchup?
Tyler Lockett's either going to go ballistic or he's going to get 2 catches for 20 yards because for some reason they either force feed him the ball or they don't throw it to him at all, and then DK is going to go off. But I think it'll be a pretty close game. Russell Wilson getting into the groove. Maybe Chris Carson, if he gets out there, we'll see if he gets anything. But I feel like it's going to boom or bust off of DK and Tyler Lockett. And if I'm Arizona, if I'm any fantasy owner, I'm a little concerned about that because Arizona's defense could be very, very good in spurts as well.
Yeah, Chris Carson though he's having season-ending surgery.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. So I retract. So whoever is back with this.
Hey, all good. And in fact, Alex Collins as well. I forgot to mention that he's questionable also today. So could be Rashard Penny, Travis Homer in this matchup. I mean, so they're going to be struggling a little bit in the run game. So to me, again, could be a big Russell Wilson day. I do like Tyler Lockett a lot today, in that matchup. My bad. Go ahead, Kelsey.
Oh, yeah. No, you're exactly right. My whole thing is if the Cardinals have everybody healthy, there's no reason they shouldn't win, period. Like it's just that simple when you look at it. You have Nuke, you have Kyler. My fantasy team is hoping Kyler is playing and is healthy because I don't know if I can handle a week of him not playing anymore. It's been a rough sled for most of it, but it'll work out. And Christian Kirk, obviously Rondell Moore, those guys, especially Rondell Moore, look for him to come back to that early season Rondell Moore where he was just racking up points for your fantasy team.
Yeah, you know who else also? I was just, as you were talking, James Conner, actually, today.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to mention that. Their defense, again, Swiss cheese against the rush. And again, if Kyler Murray doesn't go, maybe that's what they end up doing. You big James Conner heavy day. And Eno Williams, I believe he's the second guy. He might be a guy that steps up today too. So I like this matchup. Again, no matter what, I think it's going to be a good fantasy game. So if you've got somebody in that game, I definitely would try to slide them in, so to speak. So, all right, guys, we got to get running because I believe Kelsey he's going to just run on over to Coach Steve's show. That's coming up next. We appreciate you guys waking up, belly up. So again, let me pull up the lineup real quick. Kelsey will be on next. He's just the star of the Belly Up podcast.
It's my day
network.
to make the rounds,
he's making the rounds on the network today, ladies and gentlemen. Going on to the Coach Steve show, and then starring with DJ and Zach Attack with the 4th and 4. Sorry, Zach, if you hate that. He's probably like, I hate when he says Zach Attack. My bad. AJ and the Rough Cut Sportscast after that. And don't forget, Dan Maynard finally fills you in with all of your latest fantasy stuff because we don't know what the hell we're doing on this show. All right. So, again, listen. Fellas, I appreciate you guys waking up with us. Anytime you want to come on and wake up with us, because like I said, my showmates are lazy. So you are more than welcome because I appreciate you guys coming on and the Family Feud stuff, man. I just love doing it.
Man, I felt like I was trying to climb a seamless wall at that point in time against DJ. And I can't climb anyways, but it was even worse because it was a seamless wall. He knows his info. It's just not fair.
It's what I'm here for. I stumble on some of those records because in Madden I break all of the records so that I don't know which order they're. I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot I broke the record with somebody else, so that's not actually accurate. So it got me stumbling.
Yeah, you can tell why I hired him as my co-host.
Hey man, he is the man. All right, guys, we appreciate you. Don't forget, wake up, belly up, and we appreciate you. And also, don't forget, we got some exciting stuff coming up with DJ, and we're going to test his knowledge. We're going to test your knowledge too. We appreciate you guys, and we are out.